Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the Podfather here. Before you listen to this episode of the Bulletcast, I'm sorry for the background noise. I have roommates and stuff. But enjoy it. It's a great listen. We preview the Royal Rumble. We talk about AEW Dynamite on Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager Part 2. So it's a whole lot of fun. Go check it out right now!
For life. Get on! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are days away from the biggest night of the year that leads us off to the real biggest night of the year, the Royal Rumble. It is this Sunday. You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, 24-year-old piece of gold, Messiah of the microphone. Seth stole my Messiah gimmick, but I'm okay with it. I'm a generational talent. I'm a former Bulletcast champion, but on the line is the real Bulletcast champion, my tag team partner, the Jimmy to my J, the Tully to my R, and the Stevie Ray to my Booker T. He is the Le Champion of this show, the creator of the award-winning Under the Radar, creator and host of Curveballs and Chair Shots, BT, the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon Tan Guma. How you doing today, buddy?
Phillip, I'm doing fine. I got a good night's sleep, so hopefully we don't go off the rails like we did last week.
I know, edging. Shout out to the boys of In the Click, Baby Huey and Bimbo Jimbo. They interviewed Drew McIntyre, potential favorite to win the Rumble this Sunday. They mentioned us in the edging, and it's a nice little listen. Go seek that out. But Brandon, you and I, we saw each other for the first time on Sunday when we went to Stockton Con, and I got to interview the lovely Kelly Barbie Blank. What'd you think of Stockton Con, the event, and what'd you think of the interview?
Stockton Con, I thought it was good. There were some good things, some not so good things. I'm not the biggest comic book nerd or whatever you want to call it, but I do appreciate that culture. I love Star Wars, so I was able to find some stuff there. And I also did purchase something. They had these like little miniature die-cast cars, and if you ever were in my room, I know, Phillip, when we do the FaceTime, you always see the sports side of my room, so there's a lot of memorabilia that side. But on the other side, there's a lot of like miniature cars, and there was a few WWF cars that I had to swoop up for only $1. So shout out to the boys over there, whoever those people were, with the steals and deals.
All right, what do you think about the Kelly interview?
Kelly, she's a very lovely lady. It was good. Maybe we weren't rushed, but we were told that we had a very specific amount of time to do the interview, and I thought, you did it well, but the real highlight of the interview was the framing and the shot that you can go look it up on YouTube because, impeccable.
Absolutely impeccable. I realized we were told 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and I squeezed out 8 minutes. I didn't realize that. I thought it was like 6 minutes, like the guys said, you got like 5 or 6 or whatever. But a credit to you, boy. But seriously, Kelly and Miss Blank, thank you so much for coming on the show. Hopefully we can do it again sometime in the near future. And thank you, Mike Miller, the president of Stockton Con, for allowing you boys to go accomplish something like that. All right, but we gotta talk about wrestling. We gotta talk about the week that was in pro wrestling. We're only gonna talk about 2 things from SmackDown. So, John Morrison, debut match back, or return match back, not debut match. Jesus, he defeats Big E, just a little Big E boy. What are your thoughts on Morrison defeating Big E? And do you care about this match? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? What are your thoughts? Tell me now.
The match was fine. I've never been a real big fan of John Morrison. His moveset, his wrestling style, it's kind of a little too flippy-do, a little too parkour-esque, and it's kind of hard to get into. It's not as hard-hitting as I would like, but it was a good match. And this whole New Day, Miz and Morrison feud, I guess it's fine. It's something new. It's not the Usos and New Day for the 1,000,000th time, but we're probably going to get that in the summer. And, I'm kind of enjoying the Morrison heel gimmick and the Miz slowly turning towards a heel, and it is what it is. SmackDown is not really my favorite show at the moment.
I don't think it's anybody's favorite show. Friday nights, they just aren't for me. They aren't. They used to be when I was a child. Maybe if Edge came back. Big rumors on Edge coming back to wrestling. Maybe if he came back, I'd watch, I don't know. But John Morrison, I always enjoyed his work as a kid. But when Miz broke off, won the title, and they feuded, I was a Miz guy. Still am a Miz guy. But this is going to give The Miz something prominent to do because he was floundering after his loss to the best in the world, Shane McMahon. So very excited for the career uplift that The Miz is going to get from being with his former tag team partner, John Morrison. And then we move on. Roman Reigns versus Corbin is set for the Rumble. It will be a Falls Count Anywhere match. Do we have the big dog going over the king of WWE?
I think you have to. We don't exactly know what Roman's match at WrestleMania is going to be. Don't really know a lot of things of what's going to happen in WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, which we will get to talk about in a little bit. There's rumors that maybe there was going to be a loser eats dog food match, which I don't know if you've seen like advertisements on Instagram and stuff, because SmackDown is coming to the SAP Center in San Jose, that they are advertising this match with loser eats dog food. So, I mean, get your tickets now while you can, folks.
Really, I think we need to go see a loser eat dog food. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know. We'll discuss more about Roman and Corbin as we talk about the Royal Rumble. All right, outside of the ring, WWE is removing gender distinctions from its women's titles. So this, I don't know if this has really been confirmed yet, but Mike from PW Insider, who is always he's a pretty reliable source. The NXT Women's Championship will now just be apparently known as the NXT title. So that brings, and I don't know what's going to happen with the Raw or SmackDown Women's titles, but this brings the case of this. So when we talk about Rhea Ripley, she's the NXT champion. What title does Adam Cole have? Is he the NXT Heavyweight champion?
I was always a fan or a person who thought that since you have women's titles, that you should always have men's titles, just like in UFC. The 35-pound, you say the men's bantamweight belt, you say the women's bantamweight belt. You don't have to take away the gender, distinction. I just say you would add the men's distinction.
I guess you could say that. This is the men's NXT title. I guess we could do that. So then, when we get to the Raw and SmackDown ones, like, how are we doing that? Becky Lynch is the WWE Women's Champion, but then Bayley, isn't she the WWE Women's Champion? Brock Lesnar's the WWE Men's Champion.
You can just say that she's the Women's Raw SmackDown or the Raw. Sorry, there's a feedback in my ear, and I'm very hard to. There we go, Phillip. Thank you very much for muting your microphone. You say that there's a Raw Women's Champion, a SmackDown Women's Champion, and then I don't know because technically they're not Raw and SmackDown Championships, but you get my drift.
Oh no, they are. They're Raw and SmackDown Championships. Look at the colors.
I mean, WWE Championship is black. It's not red.
It's red. Is there not a red logo? Is there not a red swoosh? I mean,
Nike's gonna come for WWE.
God, Jesus, everybody's coming for Vince. Everybody. This is. I just found this being an interesting topic. I don't know. Anyway, Kota Ibushi, apparently he has the flu and he's been pulled from some New Japan US shows. Brandon, you're the New Japan guy on the show. You want to talk about that?
I guess I'll talk about it. I didn't even know that this was really a thing until I looked up at the script. But according to Big Dave, Philip's favorite source of information, that Kota Ibushi has been pulled from the New Beginnings USA tour due to influenza. New Japan posted it on their website today. He has type A influenza. I don't exactly know what that means, but the show or the tour was supposed to start on Friday in Tampa Bay. He was also supposed to have a meet and greet in Miami, and that is not going to happen. So if you have bought tickets for that, go and seek out your refund because they're giving them out. And so because of that, obviously, Kota Ibushi, one of the biggest stars in New Japan, and on this tour, they had to flip some things around on the tour.
Wow. New Japan has all these problems. It's a shame. I don't know how they're still in business. I really don't,
Yeah, and apparently Lance Archer is going to be leaving to go to AEW.
Big upgrade for that guy, Big upgrade.
I didn't know he was 43.
He's what?
He is not. He's a grizzled young veteran.
Jesus Christ, 43. He doesn't look it. I guess congratulations for that. But Yeah, man, that's maybe it's time to hang him up. I don't know. Not everybody can be Jericho. Almost 50 and having the best run of your career. Not everybody can do that. Yeah. All right. Anyway, inside the ring, Keith Lee wins gold. He ends the prophecy. He defeated Roderick Strong last night to become the NXT North American Men's Champion. So we got to add that. We got to add that in there. Oh wait, no. There's no women's North American title, so he could just be the North American title. But anyway, Keith Lee got some gold last night. Big ups to Lee. Big ups. I'm incredibly proud of him. I've been following his career for quite some time, and yeah, man, I'm very, very, very excited for what's going on with my boy Keith Lee. Brandon, you're the NXT mark of the show. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was a good match. Maybe not the best match of either one of their career, but they told the story of last week. Undisputed Era attacked Keith Lee's ankle. Roderick Strong continued on the ankle, so Keith Lee was selling for a majority of the match. It is kind of hard because Keith Lee is such a big boy and Roderick Strong is such an undersized heel, but I did think that they made it work. I believed that just put the title on Keith Lee. He's had so many opportunities at title matches and he hasn't been able to pull through. He's getting himself over, and Undisputed Era, you can get off of that train. That was a 2019 thing. You can have him a babyface men's champion. You got Rhea Ripley on the women's side, so happy to see Keith Lee win. And maybe this is to add some credibility for him to be in the Royal Rumble.
I could add credibility for Lee to be in the Royal Rumble. Adam Cole taking the chop from Walter there like a effing champ, though. We're gonna talk about Worlds Collide here in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it could add a lot of credibility for Keith Lee as he moves on going into the Royal Rumble this Sunday. NWA Hard Times, that pay-per-view is happening tonight. There is, of course, the television title tournament. Our boy Zicky Dice, he's in the tournament. Hopefully, he takes the whole thing, takes it home, and yeah, tell them about Hard Times.
Well, we already know that Zicky Dice is going to win because we've interviewed him, and every time we interview somebody, that they just go and move on to bigger and better things. So watch out for Kelly to be in the Royal Rumble and her to win the whole damn thing.
Yeah. We. Oh, wow. You just spoiled my take. What I was gonna say. Thanks a lot, man.
That's what I'm here for.
That is what you're here for. But yeah, like I said, or like you said, anybody we interview, they go on and do great things. If you haven't done something yet, your time's coming. That's just how it is. It's just how it is with us. All right, Worlds Collide is happening. It's NXT versus NXT UK. And is 205 Live involved in this? Is that still a show? Does that still come on?
It is still a show, but it is just NXT North America versus NXT UK.
Wow. Well, there's going to be Volter. Volter will be involved, and Adam Cole, Bebe, and all these guys. It's going to be some good ish, man.
It will be a good show. There's a lot of good matchups. I think the one I'm most looking forward to is DIY versus Mustache Mountain. That match should be absolutely insane. But I think it's just a step down from the takeovers. I think we talked about it when it first was announced that they were going to do this show, that we were like, I would rather have a takeover, and I think it's shown because tickets aren't moving as fast as if it was a regular takeover event.
Yeah, I have heard about that. They wanted to do something different, but hell, Takeover Portland, when's that, February 16th, something like that? That's going to be a banger with the Prince going up against Johnny Wrestling, so that's going to be fun. Mustache Mountain versus DIY, that is going to be hot fire. Shout out to Tommaso Ciampa talking about his fitness journey on Instagram. He said carbs are key. If he wants Reese's, god damn it, he's gonna have Reese's. I support you, man. Might go have some Reese's after we record this. Absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, APW All Pro Wrestling, Northern California's premier independent, returns March 14th, 2020. You don't want to miss it. I forgot what the name of this one's gonna be, but it's gonna be good, man. Marcus Mack always puts on a great show. It's gonna be their first one of the year. I will already be there. I went to every APW show last year. Might want to keep the trend going this year. You just never know. Brandon, are you accompanying me to APW, man? APW # Blueprints of War.
It's a long ways away, Phillip. That's 2 months away. Baseball season starting up. I have to check my schedule. But not making any promises, but maybe.
The tickets have already been bought. Just letting you know. So, ahead of time, boy. That's what they call me. We are going to move on to this day in wrestling. WWF at the Madison Square Garden, 1994. Hogan defeats Sheiky, baby, and he becomes WWF champion. What history? The Guns, Bart and Billy, they go on and win their first ever WWF Tag Team Championship in 1995. Excuse me. Clash of Champions 32, 1996. Wow. I was like a couple weeks old when that happened, Brandon. That's exciting. It really is. JBL makes his WWF debut on this day in 1996 as well. There was the 2000 Royal Rumble won by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I heard he went on to do big things. And then Dr. Dave Schultz, the guy that smacked the reporter upside the head back in the 80s, his book was released, Don't Call Me Fake, in 2018. Thoughts on all the stuff I just talked about for this day in wrestling?
A lot of stuff has taken place on this day, including a Royal Rumble. We're not going to talk about the actual Royal Rumble match because, let's be honest, that match was okay. I think maybe the most famous thing that happened was poor Kaientai taking terrible bumps and almost breaking their skull on the floor. But we're going to talk about maybe the best match of that night.
Yes, we shall. All right, we are going to get into the fan mail segment here. If it'll load, Jesus, load. Here we go. Hootie Who 420.
Hootie Who.
All right. After all the hype, if Drew McIntyre doesn't win the Rumble, I will be bloody pissed, mates. Bloody pissed. Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to talk about Drew McIntyre winning the Royal Rumble, We're going to talk about how we're doing picks this year for the Royal Rumble. I have something in mind, and I will mention it once we get to that segment of the show. All right, Dan. Phillip always talks about Taker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. Does Cody versus Dustin at Double or Nothing replace that as your favorite match of all time? And what's Brandon's favorite match of all time? Wow. Well, first of all, look, Cody versus Dustin, it was a love letter to their father. That's all it was. As coffee is being made in the background, as you can hear that, I hope you can hear the bubbling. That's what I felt on the inside. The bubble guts. That's what I got. I was nervous. I was crazed with emotion. It was great. It was amazing. But nothing beats Taker versus Shawn. Two guys in their 40s, early to mid 40s, had absolutely nothing to prove and put on an absolute banger like that. Come on, that nothing else can really speak to the spectacle of that. That's the greatest wrestling match of all time. I will hear nothing else. Brandon, what is your favorite wrestling match in the history of professional wrestling?
Well, that's such a broad question to ask. And, it might be a cop-out one, but, I really did enjoy Omega and Okada 1. I also did like Omega and Okada 2, even though it was a draw. I really liked the story that they told. As you said, the Taker-Shawn match might be the greatest WWE match of all time, but there was just something with that New Japan match that I might put just a little bit over that match. Just because the athleticism was so much better.
No, absolutely not. Call me when Kenny Omega wins a world title. Call me when Okada wins a world title. That IWGP thing isn't a world championship. What Brock got, that's a real world title. Defended constantly. Brock's defending it on the farm in Saskatchewan. We just don't see it. Yeah, I went there. No New Japan praise.
He wrestled the entire Minnesota team.
Yes, exactly. Defended it against all of them. Yes. It's a champion. That's a real champion. He'll take it to different variations of wrestling. Pro and amateur, and Greco-Roman freestyle. Olympic. He'll do it all. That's why Brock Lesnar is a god. Jesus. Alright, jack of all trades. How old were you guys when you realized wrestling was a work? Oh, quote-unquote work. For me, it was the early 90s WWF with all the cartoony characters. Jeez, I wonder how old this guy is. Maybe we should ask him. Nah, actually not. Is that rude to ask a man his age? I know it's rude to ask a woman. Is it rude to ask a man, Brandon? I don't know. No idea. I don't know. So yeah, oh my god. Brandon, how old were you when you realized wrestling was a work, bro?
I don't know if I ever really thought that wrestling was real. mainly because I think I always wanted to watch wrestling for like the longest time, and then like my parents would say like, oh, that's fake or whatever, and I just didn't really care. So I mean, there was never like a pivotal point where I like realized that it was fake, or sorry, predetermined. But maybe like the first early years, like early 2000s, something like that. So I mean, I don't really have like, I'm sorry, this isn't a great answer, but I just don't really remember ever really believing like it was all to begin with. So it never really mattered to me.
I think I was like 13. I was like surfing the web, and like SmackDown results were up like on a Wednesday, and I'm like, but that comes on Friday. And then I just like went through this whole rabbit hole on the internet of like finding out the terms of work and shoot and doing the job and all that other stuff. So yeah, 13-year-old Phillip had a lot of fun. He was a little fun boy. All right, in Brightest Day X graphic design.
13-year-old Phillip also find out about Santa Claus.
I found out about that when I was 21 years old. Yes.
Oh,
A few years ago.
it's okay.
Yes. Yeah. All right, in Brightest Day X graphic designer for the BC. Favorite version of Kane's mask. The OG version is the one for me. Left an undeniable impression on my 14-year-old mind when it first debuted. I like the early 2000s Kane mask. When he was with the RVD teaming with him. I like that version of Kane's mask. Brandon, do you have a favorite?
I would have to go early 2000s as well, just because that was when I first started watching, and the moment when Kane rips off the mask, it turns around, he has like the soot on his face and the balding hair. I don't know when I found out wrestling was a work, but I remember when that happened.
Oh, there you go. He also asks us, I know you'll get into this later, but who are your surprise entrants for the Rumble this year? Mine are Jeff Hardy and the Velveteen Dream. Hopefully the Dream runs wild, baby. I don't know, man. God, last year's there weren't really surprise entrants. I mean, 2018 Rumble, that was dope. With Ray coming back and that face-off of generation to generation. I think the Dream was a nice surprise entrant. Maybe Kelly's a surprise entrant in the Women's Rumble. We don't know. But yeah, man. Ronda, I'm going there. I really do think that's a possibility on Sunday. Brandon, what are your thoughts? Or do you want to save it for the Rumble?
We can save it for the Rumble. Velveteen Dream, I don't exactly know what his health status is. I haven't heard any good news or bad news, really. So, I mean, it could happen. The Royal Rumble is a match that you can come in and you don't have to be 100% to just go in and, throw some punches and take a bump over the top rope. Yes, the bump over the top rope is almost what cost Shawn Michaels his career because of his back injury. So I don't know if you want Velveteen Dream to risk it for the biscuit.
Absolutely. All right, 0D00P0 on Instagram. New DMer, first time DMer to the BC. Worst superstar to declare themselves in the Rumble so far. Jesus, who's declared themselves in the Rumble? God.
The worst person?
Yeah, the worst. The absolute worst.
Mojo Rawley hasn't declared yet?
I'm a big Raleigh guy. I like Raleigh. He's good-ish. Better than Matt Riddle. Yeah.
I honestly don't even know who's even been announced. So
yeah, I'm sorry, son. We can't help you. All right, last one. Baby Huey. Wow. Who should eliminate Brock Lesnar? Kane, Kofi, Dio Madden?
Dio Madden with the run-in.
Oh, dude, there you go, dude. I think he will get a spot in the Rumble. I think that'd be funny.
Okay, I have pulled up the entire list of participants for the men's Royal Rumble thus far.
Read them off.
Are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
So we have Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Elias, King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, Tucker, Ruru, Bobby Lashley, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe. And only on the Women's Royal Rumble thus far, we have Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Cross, and Sarah Logan. So that Women's Royal Rumble, whoo, it is stacked.
Eric Rowan for the men's side, Sarah Logan for the women's side. There's my answer. What about you?
Charlotte Flair on the women's side, because she is so overrated. I keep talking about that every
Dude, what is wrong with you? She's great.
And then on the men's side, I'll go with Elias. We haven't really talked about it. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Elias.
Well, you know what? Yeah, that's all I had for that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Elias either. We can talk about Monday Night Raw. Here we go. Seth Rollins and Buddy effin' Murphy, they win the Tag Team Championships from the Viking War Raider experience, and I loved every single minute of it. It's about time Buddy Murphy got some... why does he always win silver titles? You know, the Cruiserweight title, now this one. He has hardware, that's all that matters. Buddy Murphy means something again. I'm very happy about it. I cried a little bit, Brandon. I cried a little bit. I did.
You know, you do you, boo. I thought this was a damn good match. I don't know why they put this on. They didn't put this on last. I mean, to be honest, I completely forgot about the mixed tag match at the end, so that just kind of shows you what they were doing with that build. But I thought it was a good match. The Viking War Raider experience, they've kind of been tag team champs forever, but yet I don't really remember anything they've really done. So I think it is a good move to get the titles onto Seth and Murphy. Don't know if we're going to tell a story with AOP, and maybe they're kind of a little jealous, and their ultimate goal is to be tag team champs, and now that the Messiah has the titles, they don't really have anything to do. But we will have to stay tuned to find out.
We will have to stay tuned to find out. I was listening to... oh my god, what was it? It was in the State of Combat podcast, Brian Campbell, those guys. And Jack Crosby was on there, and he was talking about how eventually Rollins and Murphy are going to have a feud. Like, somebody's going to turn on somebody, and it's going to be fire. Brandon, what are your thoughts on Murphy and Rollins eventually somebody turning on the other one, and then what do you think the match is going to be like?
I think eventually, if there were to be somebody turning, I would go with Murphy. I think you just got to stay the course with Rollins being a heel. I think you have enough baby faces thus far with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe and maybe some NXT call-ups that Seth Rollins could be the top guy on Raw as a heel for a long time. And I think him going up against Buddy Murphy, those matches could be spectacular. I know it's a WWE style, so you can't expect too much, but we always say, if given the time, if they're motivated, it can be a really good match.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ricochet confronts the Beast, and he gets kicked in the dick for it.
Well, if we're going to say the word, you got to say it the right way. He was taking a dick kick city.
Yes, there you go. I told you, it's 2020. We don't care on this show.
Shut up, Brian Zane, in front of the podcast.
Thoughts on Ricochet being taken to Dick Kick City by the Beast, Brock Lesnar?
I thought it was an interesting way to fill some TV time with Brock Lesnar. I think they're just kind of the thing that they do with the Royal Rumble is like, oh my god, we're going to see people we've never seen face off before, so they're going to have Ricochet and Brock Lesnar in here. But that also tells a nice story that maybe Ricochet comes out number 2 and they fight for a little bit, or there's going to be some sort of moment with Ricochet and Brock Lesnar, which I will be intrigued to see what happens. I don't think Ricochet will be the person to eliminate Brock Lesnar, but I think it's just going to be another stepping stone in Brock Lesnar's journey in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean,
I enjoyed it.
Oh.
I'm done.
Okay. Doop. Yep. No, we can talk about who's going to eliminate Brock once we get there. Becky Lynch defeats Kairi Sane with the disarm her, and then Asuka kicks her in the head, hits her with like a shining wizard or something. So Asuka versus Bex. I'm very excited for that on Sunday. Rematch from last year.
It's really the only singles match that I'm excited to see. I think this match will be really, really good. Becky, Kairi Sane, the match was good as well. Poor Kairi, she comes back after her concussion or whatever she was dealing with, and then she just loses. I'm hoping that what happens at the Royal Rumble happens, and then the Kabuki Warriors mosey on down to SmackDown, and they can do some stuff over there.
Or Asuka wins. What?
It could happen, Phillip. You never know.
That's not my official pick, though. I'm just saying, throwing it out there. What else happened on Monday Night Raw? A banger ladder match between Rey Mysterio and Andrade for the United States Championship. Brandon, thoughts on this match?
I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a little spotty pretty much throughout the entire thing. I mean, a lot of this match was just kind of going from big spot to big spot to big spot, and they were kind of dangerous. I think they were a little overzealous with some of the spots. They looked kind of fake. They weren't exactly executed properly, like the sunset flip onto the ladder where Rey just overshot Andrade had to take the bump for himself, and then when Ray was dangling by the whatever you call that gimmick that holds the title up, then he just had to fall to his death. When I don't know why he couldn't just like hold it. Ray's a big, strong boy. He could have held on with one arm and taken the title off with the other arm. That's just me. Ray needs a corner guy.
That's a possibility, you know. A corner coach. You want to be his corner coach?
I will be his Zelina.
Oh.
I mean, I can pull off that jumpsuit, whatever the hell that thing was, just like she can.
Oh, damn. Brandon's letting it all hang out. There you go. You a cakey boy?
Yes, double stuffed.
What? Jesus God, this podcast has gone downhill again for the second week in a row. I really did enjoy this match. The DDT spot on the ladder was phenomenal, and Humberto Carrillo comes back, and I don't care. I just don't care about that guy.
To be honest, I kind of forgot. I thought it was Cain Velasquez, and then I was like, no, that's too small. Maybe it's Dominic. No, it's Humberto. Oh yeah, he did a thing with Andrade, and yay.
What was better, this ladder match or the ladder match Eddie and Mysterio had at SummerSlam 05 for the custody of Dominic?
Nothing can top that match.
Have you seen the Untold on the network that just dropped last week? That was good-ish, man. Ray, Eddie in the Rumble, that was some really good stuff. Get some rare footage of Eddie with Dominic, and your heart melts up a little bit. Eddie's just feeding the kid Twizzlers and stuff. Like, it's really heartwarming, man. You start tearing up.
R.I.P. Eddie.
God, he was such a talent, man. Love me some Eddie Guerrero, dude. Drew McIntyre defeats Randy Orton via DQ because the only club that matters, showed up. There were Claymore kicks. There was an RKO to Drew McIntyre. Drew cuts a promo. They're going to clash at the Rumble. Inside of the Royal Rumble. Not in a singles match, but inside the Royal Rumble. Brandon?
It was fine, just another little chapter, little thing that they put it in there for something to go down at the Royal Rumble. As you said, Drew continues to be one of my favorites to win the Rumble. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm enjoying the continued push of Drew McIntyre.
Dude, they have to pull the trigger. They have to pull the trigger this Sunday, dude. Like, let's stop BSing around. You know what I mean? He's never had a world title match. Let's make this happen. Come on, guys. Come on. All right, Bobby Lashley and Lana defeat Rusev and Liv Morgan. I love Liv. Live, love, laugh, all that good stuff. Shout out to my boy Lashley, though, picking up the big dub over Rusev. Makes a lot of sense.
As I said earlier, I completely forgot about this match, and I don't think they did a whole lot with their time. I mean, Liv, she was fine because she wasn't really asked to do a whole lot. The women didn't wrestle that much. I felt like Rusev was clicking like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, before the whole wedding angle happened, and then ever since then, I feel like it's Rusev all over again, where he gets hot and then they job him out because then he loses to Lashley last week, he loses to Lashley this week, and then it's like, why do I even care? He keeps losing.
Well, Brandon, Bobby Lashley's he's the superior talent. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever.
It's whatever. Do we not care? No?
They're not doing the hokey stuff anymore, so I've kind of lost interest.
Oh, you kind of lost interest? Are you a fan of those hotel scene segments?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I should have shot my shot with Lana. We could tell she liked chocolate. But then again, all women do. Alright, I think we're done talking about Monday Night Raw because I really want to go in depth on the Rumble. So, before we get there, we have to talk about AEW. They were live on Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager Part 2. And yeah, so first up we have the AEW Tag Team Championship match. SCU, consisting of Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, took an L and lost their titles to Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. Brandon, thoughts on the match and thoughts on Hangman and Omega getting the job done and winning these tag titles?
First off, I really did enjoy the aesthetic of them on the cruise ship. There was I don't even know how many dives there was even on the entire show, which I thought was really good because I feel like dives and Canadian destroyers are terribly, terribly overused in today's wrestling product, and so for them to be kind of contained in the ring for the entire show, I thought that was a good thing. going back to the opener, Omega and Hangman winning the tag titles. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a good decision. They continue on with the story of Hangman kind of distancing himself or even kind of getting pushed away from the Elite. I enjoy the tag team between him and Omega. I did like the promo afterwards, but it definitely felt like the sympathy is put on Paige. Like, I didn't feel bad. I mean, I didn't think that Paige was being like a drunk a-hole. Oh, sorry, asshole, because apparently we can cuss now. I mean, I don't know exactly where they're going with this, but I definitely am intrigued to see what they're going to do with Paige, because they're kind of like different layers of like alcoholism and like being pushed away from his friends and what exactly. It's wrestling, so usually alcoholism angles don't work out so well, because the only ones that have really of Road Warrior Hawk or Animal, I don't know which one it was, but and Scott Hall, those ones didn't really pay off so well.
No, they didn't. And that's a shame, because Hall was actually doing that in his real life, and I don't think Hangman Adam Page. I don't think he's. Excuse me. I don't think he's really doing all that. But maybe. But there's no creative direction, so this could be very bad. This could be the worst one of them all. I don't know. But congratulations to Hangman carrying Kenny Omega, carrying this schmuck to somewhat of significance again after he apparently was the best wrestler in the world or something like that. That's what Big Dave says, and we all know how wrong Big Dave is. But yeah, congratulations to Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. Moving on from that, Le Champion is victorious on his own ship. The Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marko Stunt, they take on members of the Inner Circle consisting of Santana and Ortiz and Chris Jericho. People serenading Jericho with his own theme there, though. I like that. I dugs it, man. Singing, rocking out to Judas on the ship. That's how you do it, bro. That's how you do it. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was a fun match. Jurassic Express continues to get over. Marko Stunt, his shtick hasn't really run dry with me, so I kind of enjoy it, and he took the pin. I did like Jim Ross talking about how Marko is quick, and he's able to get the upper hand on these guys, but he's just not big and strong enough to keep him down from the pin. I did like that little nugget that JR threw in there.
What is Marko Stunt's shtick? He's just big or small? Is that his shtick?
He's a man-child.
He's a little small boy. Hello? Are you there?
I didn't know what to do with that, Phillip, so.
What? He's a little small boy. That's what. What? Is he not?
I mean, he's a small man.
Oh, a little small man.
He's of age.
Whoa, wait. Why are you talking about he's of age? What is it?
Because he is of age. He's over 18, isn't he?
I don't know. Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is.
Pretty. I saw him having some alcohol at StarCast. If he's over 21, okay. If he is not, that is very illegal. All right, we are going to move on. Mox gets his shot at Le Champion. With one eye, he defeated a bastard in Pac. Jericho was on commentary. Jericho's amazing on commentary. Brandon, were you a Dean Ambrose fan? Were you a big Dean guy back in your day?
I've always been a big Dean Ambrose guy. I loved him. He was my favorite in the Shield.
Not Roman?
Even though I noted who he was.
Not Big Dog?
Nah, Roman was always at the bottom of the totem pole for me.
I know, I was a Rollins guy myself. But what are your thoughts on Mox getting a shot at Le Champion?
It was kind of a foregone conclusion. I stayed away from the spoilers, so I didn't know exactly what was going on during the show, but it was pretty obvious that Jon Moxley was going to get the win here. They've been building this for weeks, and Pac has his own thing with Kenny Omega going, so it made sense. I thought it was a good match. I don't know if it was as good as the draw they had in those opening weeks of Dynamite, but I enjoyed it. I thought they told a good story of having Mox, on his heels throughout with his eye injury. I hope they kind of get away from this, because just for me, still, it is kind of just comical of him selling the eye and the eye patch and everything. I know there's kind of memes about it, but maybe he sells it for a week, and then he gets off of it.
No, he sells it in the match at Revolution, This is a big deal. I'm excited. Mox versus Le Champion at Revolution. I'm digging it, man. All right, MJF. He goes for a swim. So here's the deal here. He wasn't with Wardlow. I found this interesting. So MJF is going up against Joey Janela, or as my boy Enzo says, Joey Janela. And yeah, Janela got distracted by Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. If they're gonna go there with that storyline, with the real relationship that Penelope and Joey had, I'm all for that. Let's make that happen. That'd be dope. Anyway, so he goes for the elbow drop. He misses, and MJF hits his move on him. 1, 2, 3, and he cuts a promo after, and then took a promo after, and then Cody comes out, and they're talking smack to each other. Cody says he can't touch you, but then he says they can, and then the Young Bucks super kick him and throw him into the pool. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
I thought that overall there was a good match between MJF and Joey Janela. Gives Joey an out. I know he hasn't been winning a whole lot on the main stage, but this Kip Sabian Joey Janela feud, hopefully it can go somewhere. We can get some meat out of Joey Janela, and we can see what he can actually do. The MJF stuff, it was good. Cody coming out, just really simple heel face stuff. And, just simple stuff of, I can't touch you, but my friends can, and they beat him up. Chuck him into the pool. I thought MJF is great at selling and just, being that dirty, nasty heel, but then when he has to sell, he can sell. So overall, I thought it was good.
Do you think MJF oversells?
I don't think he oversells. I mean, it was a little comical. I think MJF can be a little over the top overall with his heel shtick. But I think, this was kind of the 1 week because MJF has been getting one over on Cody for the past few weeks now. So I think this was kind of a nice, especially since Revolution is a month away and we're going to be getting the lashes and the cage match with Wardlow. Cody is going to be selling for a long period of time up until the pay-per-view. So I think this was a nice little in-between spot where Cody gets one up on MJF before MJF starts getting one up on Cody.
Absolutely. Britt Baker, she defeats Priscilla Kelly. What are your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was an okay match. We keep kind of burying the women's division on AEW every single week, but it is kind of warranted. I thought it was good. Britt Baker is kind of is I guess a full-fledged heel now. I don't understand what the whole point was with their promo with Tony Schiavone. I don't know if it was cut, like they thought that this was trash and it wasn't going anywhere, so we're just going to cut into it with the commercial. If it was meant to be like that because she was just going on and on forever and being an annoying heel. That being said, it didn't really click for me. Like, I didn't think Britt, yeah, she was kind of annoying and obnoxious, but I just didn't feel it. Like, she wasn't like MJF where I believe. She's almost kind of like Nia Jax. Like, Nia Jax, when she was a heel, I felt as though she was trying to be a heel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, is it me or is Britt Baker's move stupid?
Well, it's wrestling, so you just gotta believe. I mean, the Judas effect, it's a spinning elbow. When you do connect it properly, yes, it will hurt. I mean, the code breaker, come on, that's a really stupid move, but people sell for it, and the stunner.
Whoa. The code. Have you ever actually been hit with a code breaker? That hurts. You can pop. You can pop an orbital. How do you say that? Orbital bone. You can break your nose. Like the code breaker, that hurts big time, buddy. I don't think you get it. I really don't.
Britt Baker is a dentist, so she knows all the nerves and everything inside the mouth. So when she puts the claw inside and she touches whatever she's touching, it's just so painful that the wrestler has to tap out.
You think she puts Adam Cole in the lockjaw?
I'm not going there.
Oh, we talked about edging for 45 minutes last week, but you won't go there?
No, because we were all talking about hypotheticals last week. I'm not going to, talk about somebody's personal life. Mm-hmm. I'm staying with Phillip.
Wow. Okay, well, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are done.
Anyways, just go the other way around. Adam Cole gives her lockjaw. Hello.
Whoa. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about the Royal Rumble. This kick starts the road to WrestleMania. So here we go. We are giving our predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Bulletcast title's on the line. I'm looking for an 8th reign. I'm looking to get my baby back. I still haven't come up with a name for it yet, but I will. And how we're doing for the men's and women's Royal Rumbles, you get 3 picks. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. That's how we're doing this. I'm excited. Let's get into it. First up, Sheamus versus Shorty G. Sheamus wins.
I think it's pretty straightforward. Sheamus wins because Shorty G is short.
Absolutely, of course. You can't let that short fucker win. You know, you just can't do that. Yeah, I went there. I went all the way there. 2020, I don't give a damn anymore.
As a vertically challenged man, Phillip, I am offended.
I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, the Blue Universal Championship, The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus the new Daniel Bryan in a strap match. He's gonna strap him up. Wyatt.
It's a strap match, which is a way for the Fiend to be beaten without being pinned, or it could be a way for Daniel Bryan to lose without getting pinned. You're going with Bray Wyatt. You know, I'm probably going to lose the title just because of this. But you know what? Screw it. It's my boy, Daniel Bryan. It's a rite of passage to be disappointed with Daniel Bryan results every Royal Rumble, so I'm going with my boy, Daniel Bryan.
There you go. All right, Roman Reigns versus King Corbin Falls Count Anywhere match. Oh my God. Do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? I'm picking King Corbin to go over the big dog, Roman Reigns.
And this is where I get my win back, because I'm picking the big dog. Falls Count Anywhere. He lost last time. Roman Reigns is going to be in the Royal Rumble. Both of these men, I think, are going to be in the Royal Rumble. So maybe they're not going to go too hard in the paint, but Roman stands tall, because Roman must pose.
Roman must pose, brother. All right, SmackDown Women's Championship or SmackDown I don't know what to say anymore. Look, Bayley's defending the title she has against Lacey Evans. Bayley's obviously winning. Lacey, she's still not ready.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be that harsh on Lacey. I think she's been doing fine as a babyface, but I do think you keep Bayley as a champion, and maybe you bring somebody up, maybe you go in-house, but this whole Bayley thing, maybe you turn Sasha face, but you don't want to have her flipping back and forth too much. I'll go with Bayley to get the dub.
Okay. Bayley, it's Bayley. Yay. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, United States Championship, Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo. Andrade, I don't see anything else happening there. Yeah, man.
Andrade as well, so this is really just a barn burner of a prediction segment right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. It has to be. Andrade, baby. All right, what else do we have? The Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, here's where it's about to get interesting. One from Raw, one from SmackDown, one from NXT.
But how do we even know if people from NXT are going to be there, Philip? I feel constricted. Why can't we just go old school and just have 3 picks overall?
Oh,
I'm the champion. I get to choose the rules, damn it.
What? No, you don't. This is my show. These copyrights and patents are in my name. This is my show.
Give me what I want.
Look, I can't give you Tony Storm. I'm sorry. I just can't give it to you. Is that not what you want? No. All right. Look, here we go. Let's start it off. Women's Royal Rumble. My first pick. I select Ronda Rousey. I'm going for it. I'm really going out there for it. Brandon, who do you select, sir?
Well, I'm gonna select Shayna Baszler because I don't know if this is like the person that I'm most confident in, but I feel like that is the one that you need to go with. She was on NXT. She got her win over Shotzi. Spoiler alert, shout out Shotzi, town business, baby. But I just feel as though Shayna, I mean, she said the thing where she'll be back and she's going to go for the title. So you can have her win the championship and you can tease that she's going to go face Rhea Ripley for the title with the Royal Rumble stip. But I think having her face off against Becky I think that's the money match. Becky has kind of run through everybody. She's going to beat Asuka, and so she's going to have nobody else to face. And yes, Ronda Rousey might be out there, but I'm not as convinced that she's coming back as you are. But I think Shayna is the one.
She is the one. Oh, damn. Who else is on this woman's roster? Jesus Christ. They're not going to go with Charlotte again. I already know that. Is Asuka in the women's Royal Rumble even though she has a title match? We don't know that, huh? Nah.
So you can pick whoever you want.
They're not going to go Asuka. God damn it. I'll pick Fabulous Moolah. Oh, wait. I can't. I'll go Sasha. Why not? I'll go Sasha Banks. I will have her. And who else? Who else you got, buddy?
To be honest, I haven't really thought it that far past Shayna Baszler, just because I'm dead set on her being the right one to win. But if we're gonna be like that, or we're gonna pick different ones, Phillip, we can't overlap our picks, correct? Or can we?
I mean,
that wouldn't be in the spirit of the competition.
It wouldn't. No, the Rumble picks cannot be the same.
Okay, so if we're gonna pick somebody to win, I will go with somebody to maybe face off against Bayley on SmackDown. So you know what? I heard rumors. I saw the Cultaholic video today. Naomi getting the dub. There you go.
Wow, Naomi. Oh my god, I forgot she existed. Wow, this is actually very interesting now. Who else is on this? Dakota Kai. Why not? Why not? There we go. She just popped into my brain. There we go. All right, Brandon. Last up. This is your last pick for the woman's side. Who do you got?
Someone else who isn't technically announced. I mean, there's only 4 women announced on the entire card. But I will go with possibly a returning Ruby Riott. There you go. So basically I'm putting all my chips in the Shayna Baszler basket. But damn it, I'm going with it.
Ruby Riott. Wow, I forgot she existed. Wow. Yeah.
And I even obliged to your rules of 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown, and 1 NXT.
There you go. Always obliged to my rules. My rules are the best, bro. Let me just get all this written down here. Alright, what else do we have? The Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Asuka. We know Becky's winning. We all know this, guys. We just know.
I mean, I'm not so sure.
Oh, feel free.
But I would pick Becky to win.
Okay, that's what I thought there. That's exactly what I thought there. Becky, alright. It is the Men's Royal Rumble match. 30 entrants. The winner gets to face the champion of their choice, the WWE title, the Universal title, or possibly the NXT title. So with that being said, bro, I'm picking Matt Riddle.
Wow, so you're just gonna steal my boy and pick him to win the Royal Rumble.
Sorry, bro.
This Royal Rumble in general is gonna be very interesting because there's not really anyone who's like determined and that top babyface that we want to win. So the whole story around this is Brock Lesnar jumping in at number 1. And if you're going to go NXT first, I guess I'll go NXT as well. I kind of hinted at it. I think this is honestly a higher possibility of this person winning than Matt Riddle, even though I would love to see Matt Riddle win. I'm going to go with Keith Lee. He got his push in Survivor Series. Yes, he won the title this week, but I think you put the title on him, you have him have a little run with it, and he can kind of be, dual champion or have his dual whatever for a wee bit. So I'm going to go with Keith Lee. I might not be the smartest choice just because he is a champion right now, but for my NXT pick, I will go with Keith Lee.
Alright, next up, I pick Roman Reigns. The rehabilitation of Reigns has been very well since he's come back last year. The fans have been cheering him more and more. The Usos have been brought back together with him. He's been cheered a lot more. I think it's time. I think it is time for Roman to have that dance in the sunlight with a championship in the main event of WrestleMania. So I select Roman.
So, pretty much, I think we both agree with whoever. Do you agree with whoever eliminates Brock wins the Royal Rumble?
I think whoever eliminates Brock, whether they win or lose, they're going up against Brock at WrestleMania.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm kind of picking whoever eliminates Brock is the one who wins the Rumble ultimately.
Yeah, I could see that absolutely.
So that being said, I think I'm gonna picking between these two guys. I'm going wavering between Drew McIntyre and Aleister Black. I know you probably want Drew, so I'll give you Drew. I will go with Aleister Black. I've been kind of saying this for a while. I feel as though he's one of the only people there who hasn't been diminished. Yes, he hasn't really been doing a whole lot, but I think just kind of the showdown at Aleister Black, wanting to pick a fight with the biggest dude in the yard. Biggest dude, not the biggest dog in the yard. So, clarification there. I'll go with Aleister Black to get the win. And I'm not so convinced to win the Royal Rumble in general. I think he could be the guy to just eliminate Brock and maybe get dumped out by the eventual winner. I don't know, but I'll go with Aleister Black. Why the hell not?
How did you not know I wanted Aleister Black?
Well, I mean, you kept talking up Drew McIntyre, so.
I mean, I was talking to Drew. Is Buddy Murphy in the Royal Rumble?
Maybe. No, I read out the entire list, Phillip. You didn't pay attention to me.
That doesn't make sense for me to pick him. So I'm not gonna go there. You know what? I'll take Drew. I will. I'll do it. I will take Drew McIntyre. All right, and then you have one more, buddy.
I do have one more, and I'm not gonna oblige to your Raw, SmackDown, NXT pick. I'm gonna stay on Raw. I know it's kind of an obvious thing to just, but this entire thing is just kind of built around Brock Lesnar. I'm surprised you haven't picked him yet. They have only had two people ever to win the Royal Rumble from the number one spot, Shawn Michaels and He Who Shall Not Be Named. So I'm going to go a little political here and say that maybe they want to have Brock Lesnar win the whole damn thing to shut up some of those trolls on the internet to say he doesn't work, so he's going to be an hour man. He's going 60 minutes. And so they can put Brock Lesnar in the video packages so they don't have to just use Shawn Michaels and ignore Chris Benoit. So I'm going to go Brock Lesnar running the gauntlet, winning the whole damn thing.
Wow. I mean, maybe they'll have Chris Benoit Jr. enter at number 2. Or 2021 Royal Rumble, Chris Benoit Jr. enters at number 1. That way they can ignore Chris Benoit Sr. Yeah. No?
So, Phillip, if I can ask you a question.
Is that not funny? Okay.
A serious question.
Okay, man.
I think the number 2 entrant is very important. Who do you think number 2 is?
That's a really good question, dude. It's gonna be a pop. Could we see Cain Velasquez as number 2? A little retribution for the Saudi showdown. Could we do that?
We could. Or we could just see OG Cain.
Glenn Jacobs. Oh Jesus. Or I mean Matt Riddle. The stare down. That'd be interesting, right?
It would be interesting. I don't know if you want to have the eventual winner be number 2. I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be very interesting, but I think you want to have a moment. I don't think you could do R-Truth come out at number 2 and they can have a haha laugh spot and he just yeets him into the 10th row. But I don't know. Phillip, we also need to talk about surprises. We didn't talk about our surprise returns or whatever.
Oh, well, I think Kelly Kelly's a surprise return in the Women's Royal Rumble. Man, because that's the Men's Royal Rumble. This is where it's going to get interesting. I'm just trying to think over the last year what we've seen in WWE with. I know we're going to get legend spots. Maybe Shane makes a return. That'd be interesting to see. Shane make a return. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Booker T has been teasing that he's been lifting. He's ready. He's Rumble ready, baby. They are in H-Town. They are in Houston, the home of the cheating Houston Asterix, I might say. But that being said, I think we will see at least Booker T. Maybe we see Stevie Ray and we see Houston Heat. Not Harlem Heat, Houston Heat.
Dude, oh yeah, because that's true. Dude, what about a serious question? Do you think we get Edge or Paige? Seriously.
I think I'm more willing to say that Edge will return. I know we've been hearing kind of some rumblings. Paige, they were on backstage with Paige and CM Punk, and they were definitely just trolling everybody. So I'm not so sure that Paige will return. I'm a little scared because Paige's injuries have been so recent, and she has a light frame and it's a neck injury. You don't want to hurt it all that much. So if we're gonna go on the women's side, it is kind of interesting because the first ever Royal Rumble, they kind of just used everybody, and we've seen them at Evolution. So the women's returns are kind of like few and far between of someone we haven't seen. That being said, I mean, it would be fun to see, Trish, Lita, the ones we've always seen. I think one that we haven't seen is Victoria. I don't think we've seen Victoria thus far. I think that would be kind of a fun one, but I don't know. Smoke show at the Royal Rumble.
Dude, I'd pop huge for that, dude. Like, hell yeah, man. Victoria, I would like to see her return because I know she retired from in-ring competition, but the Rumble's not a singles match. We could see her. We didn't get to see Candice. We didn't get to see her in the Rumble, so we could do that. Like that. Like, come on, let's jazz it up.
Talk about Candice was in the Royal Rumble last year.
Was she in the Royal Rumble last year?
Candice LeRae.
Candice Michelle.
Oh.
Jazz would be a massive one, dude. The bitch clamp running wild. Love all of that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Superstar Spotlight. I will talk about that this Sunday when Brandon and I do our recap of the Royal Rumble. First pay-per-view recap of the year. I'm very excited for us to do that. But our promo pick of the week, John Cena and AJ Styles WWE Championship contract signing, SmackDown Live, January 3rd, day before your boy's birthday, 2017. This was leading up to an absolute banger with these guys. I mean, Cena won his 16th world title. They did not leave the ring. They didn't leave the ring, and that was special. Like, I've never seen that before. Brandon, I know you've seen the match. What are your thoughts on the promo segment, and then what are your thoughts on that match overall?
It's a good little promo segment. I mean, it's a contract signing, so you kind of know what you're getting. This was, kind of the beginning of AJ, really coming into his own and kind of realizing, like, oh, look, AJ's, like, actually going to be, like, a pretty big deal in WWE. Like, good for him and his talking. Everyone knew about his wrestling ability, but I think his talking in WWE was definitely a surprise.
Yeah, he was really able to hold his own with John Cena, beat up John Cena, and all that other stuff. It really just elevated him to another tier. I mean, he'd already been performing at the highest tier, highest level for a decade, and then just to reach that pinnacle, being in there with the big franchise, Big Match John, the biggest player in the game at the time. That was some really amazing stuff. Brandon, talk to us about our match pick of the week.
Well, our match pick of the week happened on this day 20 years ago on January 23rd, 2000 at the Royal Rumble. Triple H takes on Cactus Jack in a street fight for the WWF Championship. They did a little segment on Backstage about this match. They interviewed Triple H and Mick Foley. So if you want to, I assume it's on the YouTube, go and check that out. This match, knockdown, drag out fight. There's a lot of blood. They do a suplex spot where Triple H hits his leg on like a jagged piece of wood and his calf is bleeding throughout the entire match. There's thumbtacks and there's a lot of blood going on. It's, I enjoy this type of match more than the kind of death match John Moxley, Kenny Omega matches, because this feels more like a fight than like spot. So I very much enjoyed this. Definitely go and check that out. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, definitely pivotal for Triple H being elevated to the main event level.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter working with Foley, Cactus Jack, Mankind, Dude Love, whichever one. It always did feel like a fight. When Hunter's matches a lot of the times always did feel like a fight. And like you just said, it did really help elevate Hunter to the next level, even though he was already the WWF champion, working these stiff, insane, brutal matches with Mick Foley. So I enjoyed it. It was in the Rumble. I'm not the Rumble, jeez. It was in the Garden. Royal Rumble at the Garden. Yeah. And then Foley, after Hunter wins or whatever, Hunter's on the stretcher. Foley just wheels him out and dumps him. And I thought he was gonna hit him with the double arm DDT onto the tacks. That would have been badass. But I guess Hunter didn't want to take that bump. Yeah, man. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram The Bulletcast, YouTube channel The Bulletcast, email us bulletcast2 as in the number 2, sweet swet at gmail.com. We may never be on K-Dub ever again. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to the guy, see what's up. But yes, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Patreon, Anchor, Spotify, and let me read all the other platforms that we are on. Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public. Yes, coming to CastBox very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, this weekend kickstarts the road to WrestleMania. You don't want to miss it. We're doing great work. Go check out my Kelly interview. Possibly could be in the Royal Rumble this Sunday. If she is, it's because I interviewed her. Absolutely. Bulletcast title on the line. You don't want to miss it. Brandon, I'm coming back for my baby. I want to be with my baby tonight. One more time. Again.
No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet. Red alert, this is gonna...
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.